Hey Haiti, how are you? Good to see you. Happy Tuesday. Hey Erica. Thanks for hopping on again. Appreciate it, as always. Hey. Hey Ryan. Good to see you guys. It's a little warm out here. I'm probably going to start sweating here in just a second. Good to see you guys. We're going to get started here in just a second. Hey, while we're about to get started, why don't you guys tell me one thing that you're grateful for today. So one thing that you are grateful for today. Gratitude is huge in my book, and we're going to talk about that in a minute, but love to hear one thing that you woke up just so grateful for this morning. Go ahead and type it in. Staying alive. Yes, absolutely. Your kids, that's awesome, Erica. Isodelites. Yeah, friends don't let friends cleanse without isodelites, that's for sure. Awesome. So I am grateful. I always wake up feeling grateful. Just another day breathing is always good. Grateful for health. Grateful for my pets and Nick and wonderful business that we have together. And gosh, so many things to be grateful for. It's a beautiful day. I have the hummingbirds behind me, and we had a nice bit of rain last night, which we really needed here, so that was awesome. So yeah, lots to be grateful for. Lots to be grateful for. If you just jumped on, tell me something you're grateful for. Something you're grateful for. And if you happen to be on the live workout this morning, I know there was some internet, your life, absolutely. Yes. Grateful for today. Yes. Absolutely. Wow. Truly humbled by that one. You guys are awesome. And that you love to run. Sweet. Good. I love seeing all these. It's so awesome. Thank you. So if you missed the live workout this morning, I had some internet connection issues. Evidently, Periscope doesn't work well over a 3G connection, which is what I have in the studio where I train, in the Metabolic Effects Studio. So should have tested that a little sooner, but oh well. So we'll probably do one somewhere else where we are on Wi-Fi, hopefully coming up in the next couple weeks. So anyway, so the whole topic today is tips to make the rest of your life the absolute best of your life. And part of what I do is I work with mainly women. I work with men too, but usually they're in their 40s or later, and just really helping them understand how to transition from our younger days into our 40s and later. So, a few things that I found along the way, that a couple of mindset things that I found are mindset and other things that are just really crucial to change as we get older if we want to be happy and healthy. First of all, it's going back to that whole gratitude. Going back to gratitude. It all comes back to gratitude, being grateful. No matter where we are in our lives, there's always something to be grateful for, I think. And we're going to talk about stress here in a minute, but it's really hard to feel anger and negativity and things like that when you're grateful. So always going back to gratitude, and usually, try to wake up, start the day with gratitude and end the day with gratitude, and then many times in between being grateful. So, and then, getting into some nuts and bolts, dieting. Please stop. If you are dieting, how many of you, let me ask the question, how many of you have been on a diet ever in your life? How many of you are on a diet right now? Well, please stop dieting. The bottom line is dieting just really doesn't work long term. And always on a diet? No, don't be on a diet. Or gratitude. Hopefully gratitude always. Not always on a diet, I hope. I mean, there's a difference between a diet and a sustainable program. Okay, so if you're on a program that you're able to sustain long term and you are not miserable all the time, then that's not a diet. Okay, that's a lifestyle. So that's what we really want, is a lifestyle. Diets don't work. Half the time or more, most people end up fatter than they were before. So stop the dieting. It just puts a lot of excess stress on your some things are, yep, I hear you, Haiti. Yep, diets are definitely in the past. They put excess stress on the body, and it's just not good. And there really is no one size fits all solution, right? Everyone's different. Hola, happy to have you on here from Mexico. Awesome. There's really no one size fits all solution, right? Everyone's different, and that's what I hate these infomercials and all these quick fix pills and other stuff that's out there that's like, it just doesn't, there's just no one size fits all solution, and there are no quick fixes. It really just comes down to finding what works for you, and a lot of that is trial and error. Finding what is going to work for you that's sustainable, that gives you the results that you want, and doesn't make you miserable. Okay, and so that is a lot of trial and error, and every single person is different. Some people do well on lower carb. Yes, metabolic fingerprint, absolutely. Some people do well on lower carbs, some people don't. Some people do well on higher fat, some people don't. It's really all a matter of what works for you. But as we get older, and this is something that we don't think about, low fat, higher carb. Yeah, my friend Lisa is the same way. I am lower carb, higher fat, so interesting. But, it's as we get older, our protein needs do increase. So a lot of people don't, they only think that they need to increase their protein if they're doing, if they're trying to build muscle. But no, as you get older, you actually do need to eat more protein, because our muscles and everything really start to break down, especially for women and men too. But as we get older, so what I found that works for me, and this is just a suggestion. Fitness over 40. Nice, Donna. What I found that works for me, and this is just me personally, I'm by no means saying this is what you should do, but I found I don't like to cook. I like convenience, so I turn to high quality meal replacement shakes, protein shakes, every day. So it's just an easy way for me to ensure that I'm getting enough protein that I probably wouldn't get through my meals, since I am not one that likes to meal prep and do all of that. So that's our first tip. Stop dieting. Find something that works for you. And you know what? Email me if you have questions about this and you want some tips on that. Tara@primelifefit.com. I'm happy to give you some tips, but stop the yo-yo. It's madness, and it will just drive you crazy. Move your body. We all know this is important, right? You've got to move your body, and this is so important. It's not just about being ripped and lean and everything. It's about being mobile and functional as we get older, right? So move the body. It doesn't mean that you have to be a gym rat. It doesn't mean that you have to spend hours and hours exercising. There are hummingbirds buzzing around. I hope you can, maybe they'll fly up to the feeder and you can see them. But it just means, get some movement in, whether it's walking or sprints or whatever it is that you enjoy doing, and lift some weights a few times a week. And this is especially important as you get older, and specifically if you are 50 or older, you really, really need to pay close attention on lifting some heavy weights. I am too, Erica. I'm so sore. So, because as we get older, like I said, your muscles and your bones and your joints and your tendons and your ligaments, they all get weaker. So we really need to focus on keeping those things strong. You know, we all have heard or even have had relatives who have fallen and broken a hip in their older age, and we really just want to prevent that, and that starts now. It really does. It starts right now. The third thing, and this is, you know, people don't really think about this too much, I don't think, but you got to chill out, man. You've got life's short, and I'll tell you, stress accounts for roughly 99% of diseases out there. So, you know, whether it is physical stress or psychological stress, emotional stress, financial stress, your body doesn't know the difference. So chill out, for gosh sakes. You know, this is a huge factor in how well we age. You know, and it, unfortunately, as we get older, our bodies do become more stress reactive. We've talked about this before. So this is where you may have noticed, I'm sweating like a pig out here. You may have noticed if you're a little bit older, maybe some excess belly fat showing up, and a lot of that has to do with those stress hormones that we're just more reactive to as we get older. So chilling out is, you know, it's almost imperative. It is imperative. I'm telling you, you're allowed to chill out. It's okay. So how do you do this? You find stuff that makes you feel good. So we talk a lot about leisure walking. Leisure walking is awesome, preferably outside in nature somewhere that makes you just feel happy to be alive. Listening to music, playing with your pets, sex, that's good too. Whatever calms you down and makes you feel good. So that's always important. And like I said before, when we were talking about gratitude, you know, this is where gratitude comes into being grateful and happy, keeping those happy hormones going. It's really hard to be angry and negative and grateful at the same time. So try it. I'm so grateful for this day. That just doesn't work, does it? So you definitely want to practice that. Chill out. And then this is another one that you may not have thought of, but get social. Research has shown that the older we get, the more important it is for thank you. Thank you. The older we get, the more important it is to maintain our social connections. And I witnessed this firsthand with both sets of grandparents. It was funny. My grandmother on my father's mother, and then my mother's father. They were both a little more introverted than their spouses, and a little bit more negative. I loved them both, of course, dearly, but just their attitude was different and how they socialized and things like that. And it really affected them as they got older. You could tell it was just, they were more depressed, they were sicker more often. It just really makes a difference. So keeping those social connections alive. And girls, hey, here's your excuse for girls' night out. It's all about healthy aging. So you got to have your social connections. And then next is something that, I love, and something that I really wasn't introduced to until a few years ago, but creating MSI. And this is getting, a little bit into some financial stuff, but still stuff that's super important to think about as we get older. So what is MSI? Multiple streams of income. And it's super easy to do these days. And I think we all know that, nobody's job is 100% secure. Nobody is indispensable anymore. So it is always nice to have a plan B and a plan C, even a plan D. It's always nice to have, that MSI. And there's so easy these days. You can create online business. It just, let me get my notes here. And so many people have started online home-based businesses. I did a few years ago. And if you're not sure exactly how to go about starting an online business, or you're still trying to figure out what you want to do with an online business, This is where network marketing comes in. And I love network marketing. You know, it got a bad rap for many, many years, but it's really overcome that stigma and is a huge, huge industry. So, you know, it's becoming more like Amazon now than Amway. So, you know, the key on that is network marketing is a great vehicle for you if you're not quite sure what you want to do with your online business, you're not quite sure how to set it up. It can give you that infrastructure that you need. Most network marketing companies, good network marketing companies, are going to have all the tools and the systems and the heavy lifting in place for you so that you don't have to deal with all of that. You don't have to deal with building your website. You can, absolutely, as a, you know, as an addition to your business, and to build your own personal brand, but they do all the heavy lifting. They do the payment processing. They do everything for you. So the key on that is to find a company that you love. If you start out like I did, I found a company, I loved their products, and I didn't even know it was network marketing at first. And I didn't really even start doing anything with the business side for a couple months, actually, after I realized what it was, and people started asking me about the stuff that I was using. So, you know, that's what the key is, finding one that you love the products. The startup cost is relatively low, and like, you know, just for example, ours is $29. I'm not trying to sell you on anything, but just letting you know. And, you know, you don't really need any experience because, like I said, a good company is going to have all the training and the tools and the resources that you need to get started. You also want to look at their compensation plan. How are you paid? That is, you know, probably more important if you want to look at this as a business opportunity than whether or not you like the products, unfortunately. The products you have to work with a products-focused company just because of reputation. But to guard your reputation, but you want to look at that compensation plan and see the different ways that you get paid. Some companies it's really, really difficult and it takes a long time to make any money, and that's cool if you are, you know, you're passionate about the products and you want to stick with that. That's awesome, but also, you know, look at some things that I like to look at are, you know, can you make money on the front end? And can you make money on the back end, which by back end, I mean residual income. So what's the return on investment, you know, for getting started? And, you know, some of the mistakes that I see people make when they get into their network marketing business, they overestimate what they can make in 1 year, and then they underestimate what they can make in 5 years. So regardless, you know, once you've done your homework, your due diligence on the comp plan and the products and the science or whatever it is your product is, stick with it, you know, give it some time. It doesn't happen overnight. You know, we've had folks on our team that have been with us from the beginning, and they weren't interested in the business at first, and then all of a sudden they got into it and are doing really well. You know, but it's one of those things that you really have to give it some time. But it can be a great segue as you're figuring out what you want to do in the online space. And you don't have to do anything else in the online space if you don't have any other interest or things like that. A lot of us do have some other interest, or we tie them both together. But it's just a good vehicle to make money, and in the meantime, you know, while you're trying to get everything up and running to create that additional stream of income. Another additional stream of income, affiliate marketing. I don't know if you've heard of that. That's basically where you promote other people's digital products, online products. That can be fairly lucrative. It just depends on the product, and it can get fairly obnoxious depending on how you do it. I've had, you know, I'm on a bunch of email lists, and there's some marketers out there, man, that are just like, I can't believe they're marketing another product. So you really have to be careful with that if your integrity is important to you and your authenticity, and which hopefully that is important to you. And then the last thing I want to talk about before we get off of here is your bucket list. So, you know, just do it. The things on your bucket list, all those things you've been wanting to do, start marking them off, because I tell you what, life is short. And we're not guaranteed that we're going to be here tomorrow. So whatever it is, start making plans. Do them now. And you won't regret it, I promise. You know, I think the worst thing is getting to, you know, the very end of your life, the very last day of your life, and thinking back on all the things that you didn't do. So don't let fear hold you back. If that's what's holding you back, you know, what's the worst that could happen if you decide to do what you really want to do? What's the absolute worst? And I guarantee you'll get through it. So anyway, that's about it for today. Does anybody have any questions? Any questions? No? Any closing comments? All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for hopping on. I appreciate it. And again, you can check me out at primelifefit.com. If you want to email me, it's tara@primelifefit.com. I'm on Facebook as well. So we will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye, Lisa. Take care.